Hello and welcome back to the reading vlog. I thought I'd start the reading vlog on the Monday. It is the 25th of December right now, so the first Christmas holiday day. I hope your Christmas holidays were great. For us, we celebrated yesterday mostly, and that is that, you know. But yeah, I just filmed Thursday's video, which is why I'm, a little bit put together. And yeah, I hope you had like a really great holiday, I have to say I have the best partner ever. I don't know. I kind of want to brag, but yeah. He got me this, is it porcelain? I think. Mug. This is by the tattoo artist that just did my arm here. I love him. He makes great art. And he and his wife, they have a manufacturer here in Berlin, and they do them by hand, and they are really expensive, and I always felt kind of I wasn't worth it, for me to buy myself one because they are so expensive. It's a lot of money to spend. And my partner got me one for Christmas this year. I love it so much. I will never use anything else to drink out of, let's be honest. But yeah, it is amazing. I love it. But yeah, also coming to that, because reading update, let's start the week with a reading update. I did a lot of reading already, because I have, obviously it's the holidays, but I also have 2 weeks vacation, so I'm really enjoying my reading. The first update I can give you is The Stand. I'm currently reading The Stand by Stephen King. I love it, I have to say. I am now, well, a little bit in. It's a big book, but I'm on page 160 now, and the virus is spreading and the people are dying, and I am all for it. It's a lot of fun, I think we're kind of seeing, it's a little bit like crystallizing. Can you say that in English? It's a little bit like getting more and more clear who will survive the virus, and it is really interesting. I love the book. I think because I'm also a person who talks way too much, if I ever start talking, I don't talk that much normally in my life, in like situations where there are strangers, but when I love a thing, I can talk a lot about it. And I feel like Stephen King is kind of the same. Like, could have this have been shorter? Yeah, but I love that it's this long. I love the complete journey of the virus starting to get out of the military installation and then infecting everything. I love it, and yeah, I'm absolutely into it, so that is really great. And then I have started a reread at the end of the year, which definitely wasn't planned, but my partner got me a book for Christmas, which I didn't expect, to be honest. I do tend to buy my own books because I know what I want and what I have already, but he got the idea from a friend at the dog park. Look at it, it's so pretty. I only own The Lord of the Rings in the paperback versions, as you can see there. Those are the paperback versions of The Lord of the Rings. I got them in a set, pretty early on, like a few years ago now. And I always wanted to go back and buy myself a hardcover copy, and now my partner went out and got me this wonderful illustrated edition. The illustrations are the original ones by Tolkien himself. They are wonderful. The edition, you have the ring inscription on the side. It is so beautiful. You have the maps, prints of the maps inside. It's just, and then original paintings that Tolkien did for The Lord of the Rings. And yeah, what better book could you gift your partner, than a special edition of this wonderful book. So yeah, I did start a reread of The Lord of the Rings. I had to read it directly after getting it. I mean, I love those books. I have read them more than once. I'm totally down for reread. So yeah, what a wonderful Christmas present, But yeah, so for me the holidays have been great. We had a really great day yesterday too. Just us three, the dog and us two. We did like a lot of cooking together and then eating, So yeah, I hope your holidays also were as great as mine this year, you know. But yeah, that is also the reading update right now then, and I will continue with the stand today, I think, because I really, really want to see where this is going. But yeah, so hopefully you're ready for me gushing about the stand the whole week. We'll see if I can finish it this week. It is 1,100 pages roughly, so yeah, it is massive, but I'm looking so forward to reading that. And I have so much time, you know, so I can organize my life before the first of the new year. We'll be here on Sunday, you know, which is like crazy how fast the end of the year is approaching, you know. Good morning. It is Tuesday morning, so the 26th. And yeah, I just started editing Thursday's video, but whilst the files are all importing and stuff, I thought I'd give you an update of my morning read. And yeah, as you can see, I did quite some progress. I mean, this book is massive, you know, but I'm loving it. I'm really, really, really excited to read it, which is good feelings all around. I am 230 pages in. I'm not rushing it. I think I read like 60 pages this morning, which I think is quite a solid amount of pages for a day. Because obviously I have still a lot of other stuff to do around the apartment because I'm doing my spring cleaning a little bit early. But yeah, I have a favorite character in this book already, and it's Nick. He is a deaf mute. He cannot talk physically. He has an illness that I don't know, it made it so he can't talk, and he's deaf, and he was orphaned at some point, and he really didn't have anyone teach him stuff in the beginning, and then later on there came some people in his life, so he communicates via writing stuff down on paper and reading lips, which makes the whole dynamic really interesting because we only get pretty much the dialogue, what he sees, and once he turns his back, the dialogue stops. It's really, really interesting. I love him as a character. He's great. He's a really, really nice kid. He's, well, I think 17 or something like that. Not quite an adult. And yeah, he seems to be immune to the virus. We're still at the point where people are dying. Pretty much the military tries to take control, but they can't really do that. There was one news broadcaster who made a mutiny and kind of managed to at least get a 2-hour broadcast out there that, you know, there's a virus and it's not just the flu and it's incredibly deadly, and yeah, then they were killed for doing that, but they were all already ill, so it doesn't really matter that much. But yeah, this book is incredibly great at the beginning. I can already guess that maybe quite a few people won't like the book because, let's be honest, 230 pages and it's still kind of building up to what will then happen, you know, but because at some point most people have to be dead. As far as I can, you know, I think, yeah, here on the back it says like 99% of the world's population die within the first few weeks. So obviously the main point will come after that, but I love it. I love how it's written. I love how slow he goes, because we get to know a few of the characters. You know, one girl, I kind of feel bad for her and kind of not. She is a little bit weird, but she's pregnant. She didn't want to be pregnant. It was an accident. And she kind of has, you know, weird feelings about it. She doesn't really do well with communicating with the guy who got her pregnant. And yeah, her mom died from the virus, or yeah, no, she's now dead, and her dad already has the virus as well, but she seems to be immune to the virus, and that whole story is also really interesting. And then we have like a rap star, pop star, whatever, who is like really irresponsible, and he thinks he is a good guy, but whilst doing good, he kind of always fails and does the wrong thing. You know, those people who like try to do the right thing, but it always turns out wrong. He's kind of that guy, and his mom just died from the virus, and he's in New York, and he doesn't really know what is happening, and yeah, those people are all really, really interesting, which is kind of nice, you know. But yeah, I'm currently at a point, I don't know, I think I'm with Nick at the moment, but yeah, it's really, really interesting. I love it, and yeah, I have a lot of fun reading it, which is great, you know, because that meant I started my day with a great book, and that is, to be honest, the best way to start a day in my opinion. And yeah, then I continued with spring cleaning, which is what I will continue with right now. We have a lot to declutter, clean up, reorganize, you know, just like make our home nicer. And yeah, so that is what I'm doing right now, because I kind of want to use my 2 weeks off of work to get through a lot of this stuff, you know, so that once I go back to work, I don't have to keep thinking about those things, which is what really made this year kind of hard, because I always in the back of my mind was like, you need to do that, but I never had enough time to really tackle that. So yeah, that is what I will continue with now. I don't know if I will read much more today, because I do love my morning reading at the moment, and the later it is in the day, the more I'm like, oh, I want to do some gaming and not really reading. Fine by me. But yeah, that means that I probably will check in with you tomorrow after I did some reading. And once my apartment looks a bit nicer, I can, you know, show you a little bit else of the apartment. But right now, I don't really want to show it on the internet, because it's not looking, well, it's clean and stuff, but it's not looking how I want it to look, and yeah, I don't know. So let's talk about my progress with Stand. I am making my way through it. Slow and steady, I think, is the right pace to do this. But yeah, I'm at 300 pages, even though it looks nothing like 300 pages, let's just be honest, but it's 300 pages. So I'm slowly getting to like a third of the book. I think I'm like nearly at a third of the book, and I am loving it. I am living for the book right now. It is incredible. I try, you know, not to like read too much in a day, just to not burn out on the reading, but yeah, the book is amazing. I looked at a few of the reviews and like the rating on Goodreads. It has a really, really good rating. So yeah, I'm not surprised by that, but this is so much fun to read. Especially like the complete third of the book, the first third of the book is completely like the virus outbreak and the people dying and America going to shits pretty much. And it is so fun to read. I love it. I love that he goes really into detail, like in different phases of different people, when their loved ones dies, when they realize, you know, I'm not getting the virus, when they realize that they are the last one left in their town, and, you know, getting uncomfortable with the situation, and like they're different like knowledge bases, because some of them know more because they are looking into like, you know, the news and stuff, and others know really like kind of nothing because they just shut themselves in, and then they come out and pretty much everyone is dead and they don't really know why and what happened, and you know, they're like, oh, the military will come, even though the military has kind of fallen already. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, all of those different perspectives, and I really don't know where like the book will be going after like pretty much all of them are dead. But yeah, I can't wait to find out. I'm so happy this book is. I don't know, I should have bought more Stephen King earlier, but then again, I didn't want to buy a lot of books. But yeah, I think if I am getting through my TBR at a pace that I'm happy with, I might allow myself to buy a few more Stephen King books in the next year, because I am realizing he is one of my favorite authors. I have to say it. It's so funny because I read my first Stephen King 2 years ago, so it's really not a long time that I started reading Stephen King. I only started, well, I had the Pet Cemetery I had as a teenager, but I didn't get through it because I was really afraid of the book. And to be fair, I also didn't really understand the type of horror that the book has. And so I didn't get through it, and then I only picked up Stephen King again after my partner told me to. Once I started getting like really big time into reading again, which has happened like, it's like 2-3 years ago maybe. And then I started picking up Stephen King again, and I am loving his books. I think except for the Dark Tower series, I don't know. It's a weird series. Don't get me wrong. I think it's really really weird. But his other novels, I absolutely into most of them. And yeah, this is a really really great example. I feel like this is the same with when I read It. I love It. I love that book. But it took my time getting through it. I read it throughout the last October, like not the one that was now, but the one before that, and I loved that. That was such a great experience, and this one is giving me really, really similar vibes when it comes to like the reading pace and being excited for knowing more and getting to know more of the book. You know, only that this time I'm reading it slightly faster than I did with It. I kind of would love to get through this in like 2 weeks, which would be great if you think about it being 1,200 pages. So I think in 2 weeks that would actually kind of fine. But yeah, I'm loving it. I'm so into it, which is also why I haven't picked The Lord of the Rings up again, because if I sit down to read, I really want to read The Stand and nothing else. And so yeah, I'm doing that. And then, like, in the evenings, I do a little bit of, like, audiobook listening. I'm listening to a book about trees, which is, like, a weird thing. And also, the book is in German, technically, but I'm listening to the English version because that was the version my library had. It doesn't make sense, kind of, really, but I think it works as an English version as well. So yeah, I'm gonna put the cover here because I really don't know what the book is called right now and I think the author is called Peter Wohleben, but I'm not quite sure, so I'm gonna put the cover here. But yeah, that is interesting, kind of. It's a weird random book, but I kind of like that with nonfiction, and it works. It's a good like going to sleep audiobook, so it works for me at the moment. But yeah, that is what I'm doing. It is Wednesday. I did quite a bit of rearranging. Today, sorting out my pantry. No, I don't have a pantry. I have a shelf full of pantry items. But yeah, I did a sort through of that to, you know, get what we have in stock still and what we need to buy and, you know, stuff like that. And yeah, I am pretty busy. I'm not filming much of it because obviously my partner is at home this week as well. So I'm not, you know, I don't want to film him. I don't think he wants that. So yeah, I can't film really that much, to be honest, so that he, you know, has his privacy. But yeah, I am loving this, and yeah. The only thing is, I have to say, this is really hard to hold. It is getting on my wrists, like my wrists hurt from holding this, especially if I have my dog on my lap. It starts hurting really easily because the book is kind of heavy. So I would have wished maybe they would have done 2 books with this, like they did with the Brandon Sanderson books. So yeah, then it would have been a little bit easier to hold, but big books do that to you, right? So yeah, I am looking forward to continuing. I don't know if I will get to that today. I don't know if I have a scap date today or tomorrow with my friend. I can't remember, but she will probably tell me. And yeah, so I don't know if I will get 2 more reading today, but I will definitely do a little bit more rearranging. We will put up some art, which I will show you once it's up on the wall. And yeah, that is pretty much the rest of my day. So I will see you tomorrow, probably. Okay. Let's talk about the stand. I'm sorry, I'm gonna gush again. I am at page 413 now, so I'm really slowly making my way through. But I feel like I'm reading it at a great pace, you know. I am loving it. I don't know. I keep waiting for something to happen that annoys me because in the last few weeks I've read so many books. They started out great and then at some point they just tended to annoy me. It still hasn't. There was just something really dramatic that happened that kind of shocked me because I didn't see it coming. But I think my favorite part of the book so far, we had the compilation of the people that survived and their stories and the loved ones dying and pretty much everyone else dying, you know. And then we had a few pages of stories about people who survived, who then died through falling into a well, getting an infection, stepping onto a rusted nail and, trying to amputate their foot because it got infected and dying of that. Those stories, the way he told them, I loved it. And I don't know if it's morbid, that is my favorite part of the book so far. But I loved the way he just told that. I don't know, it has been my favorite part so far. But yeah, and since then, all of our groups have gone into motion and are traveling now to, I think, different locations. I'm not totally sure because, American geography is not something I know a lot about because, I don't know, I live in Germany, I wouldn't assume an American would know about German geography, so I don't really know that much about American, I know roughly, the outline, and roughly a direction where things are, but nothing else, But yeah, our groups are now on their way, and we have really interesting traveling pairs, I have to say that. We have Nick, who's traveling alone. We have a guy who was in a prison that I haven't really talked about yet. He killed some people, and he managed to get out of the prison, I think, by a dark force. So I feel like we might get something crazy at some point in this book. I'm really excited to see what it is. But yeah, he got out of the prison. He's on his way now. Then we had the two that were in New York. The really kind of asshole guy who thinks he's the good guy the whole time. And with him was Rita, a woman he met in New York, and he was really annoyed at her the whole time, even though she was just a scared woman. I mean, everybody around her died. She had a pill problem before all of that happened already, anxiety and stuff, which she self-medicated with pills. And yeah, so they were on their way, and actually with those two, the crazy thing happened. Which I'm gonna just spoil you. This is a really old book. I think it's fine to do spoilers here. But yeah, Rita dies. I didn't see that coming. She actually chose to go herself. She took a lot of an overdose, pretty much. And he has really knee-jerk reaction to that. I hate the guy. But the good hate, the one where you think oh, that character will make a good opposite to somebody else in the story, that kind of I hate the character. So yeah, and he wasn't even man enough to bury her, which is kind of crazy, to be honest. And then we have the girl who's pregnant and the weird little brother of her best friend. They pretty much are sticking together now because she felt bad for him, and he's kind of the creepy weird kid a little bit that was just really neglected by his family because he wasn't, the guy you could show everyone. So yeah, those two are traveling together as well, and that is where I am right now. Also, yeah, we have Nick. He has a hurt eye now. He can't really see out of one of his eyes because the guys who mugged him at the beginning of the book, the main guy, he also survived the flu and then came back to finish Nick off because he was angry at him for having to hide out in the woods. And yeah, Nick thankfully survived, but yeah, he has a grazing wound on his leg from shooting the guy. And the guy damaged his eye, so he now is mute, deaf, and has only more or less like one eye for vision and a little bit of vision in the other one. So his journey will be really, really interesting. I'm rooting for him. I love him. But yeah, so that is what 430 pages of The Stand will give you. I am still absolutely into it. I am still loving it. This will probably be the first book that I finish in the next year, because let's be honest, I won't finish that this year. There's no way. I mean, obviously, because today is the 29th Friday. Yeah, the 29th is today. And obviously, you know, I have vacation, but I have a lot of like reorganization to do. So I can't read the whole day, and I don't want to read the whole day. You know, I try to evenly do all of my hobbies where I have the time to, you know, satisfy all of the urges. I was knitting a little bit this morning, and now I will do some gaming and reorganize my closet, hopefully. Because yesterday, I don't think I checked in with you yesterday, but yesterday I reorganized my pantry shelf. That is done now, which I'm really, really happy about. But you know, it takes time, and yeah. But I'm so into this book. It's so great. If you haven't read The Stand yet, you have to. It's also so funny. My partner read it like a couple of years ago, and he read it in German. So it has been, well, it has to be at least like 10, 11 years ago that he read The Stand. And he doesn't remember any of it, and now I'm like, you have to read it again because it's so cool. So yeah, I'm into it. I'm really, really into it. And I'm really, really happy about that, because that is what I needed in a book. So yeah, hopeless fan of Stephen King. I'm sorry for everybody who cannot hear about it anymore. I get if you know, get a little bit fatigued of people hyping authors up and stuff. But yeah, for me, it's just, I love his books. I don't know. For me, a lot of them work wonders. But yeah, that is pretty much a quick little check-in for today. We'll see if I will continue a little bit this evening. I might do. I did as well yesterday. But yeah, I might do. I might not. I have no idea, to be honest. So yeah, see you tomorrow, probably. Okay, so I kind of had the camera set up because I filmed Thursday's video. And I thought, why not give you a reading update for the vlog? And yeah, let's talk about The Stand again. I'm still not through it. If you want to know what I think in the end, you will have to come back for next week's vlog. But I did manage to get to page 500. I think it's crazy that I read 500 pages of this book and I'm still not at the middle. I'm missing like 75 pages to get to the middle. So yeah, I will have to pick the pace up a little bit next week, but that is fine. I still love this book. I think the things that happened have been quite interesting. Larry and Rita, where Rita died, you know, in the last update I told you about it, he found a woman and a child who kind of banded themselves together, and the child for some reason tries to kill him the whole time. But yeah, they then band together and they're now on their way together, and they found the barn sign that Harold, the pair that is the young girl who's pregnant and the weird younger brother of her best friend, they left a sign to say, you know, they're going to this center, to this disease center, and so yeah, the other ones found the sign and they are now on their tracks pretty much. And then we have Harold and I think her name is Frida. Franny is her name, Franny and Harold. Yeah, they actually met Stu. And Stu is the guy who was in the virus center thingy where Franny and Harold want to go, who was there because he was the first one that seemed immune and they did the test on him. And so he obviously shattered their hope that there are more people there. But they still band together, and he kind of, you know, makes... Well, Harold is a shitty person anyway, but he kind of, you know, has to talk to him like, you know, I don't like have an interest in Franny. She obviously hasn't had an interest in you, but I won't make, you know, I won't make you fight for her. She doesn't want to have to do with any one of both of them, as it seems. But Harold doesn't get that, but I hate characters like him. I have met them in real life. You know, it's a little bit like those incel-y guys, what are they called? Neckbeards. So yeah, those guys, you know, and I hate it, but it fits so well into the story. So yeah, those are on their way. And then we have, oh yeah, we have Nick, our deaf mute. He banded together actually with a guy he found in a town who was mentally impaired, and they banded together even though the second guy, Tom, doesn't know how to read. Nick can talk and hear, so it's really interesting, the pair of them. But Nick feels kind of, you know, bad for Tom, and he wants to make sure that he is able to survive because Tom doesn't realize that the other people all died. And so yeah, then they found like a woman, and the woman tried to kill them. Whole story in there. I won't go into details because obviously if you still want to read the book, too many details told, even though it's a spoilery video, is kind of unfair. So yeah, they are there now, and they are on their way as well. Also, they've now found like a second person, and that person seems to be a little bit better. So, you know, there are slowly like groups forming. And then we still have the crazy inmate who is also out, and who I still think tries to destroy all of them. Larry is still the asshole that he was before. He tries for the woman and the child, but he's just not a good guy, and I think he will have a lot to struggle with that. But yeah, all of them are on the way now, so I guess like a little bit after halfway they probably meet each other, and will then, you know, we'll see how they go from there. I'm still absolutely into this. It just takes a lot of time. It's a big book, it takes a lot of time to go through. And then the second update is the audiobook that I listened to. I'm 80% through that now. Who would have thought that a book about trees can be interesting? I learned so much from that book. I don't know, just how trees behave, that they share a lot of stuff through their roots, with like mates pretty much, and yeah, that there's a lot more that goes on with trees. And yeah, it was really interesting. Not the book that I typically would have picked up, because obviously I only picked it up because I couldn't find anything else and I needed something to listen to, and now I'm invested, which is kind of cool, you know. But yeah, those are the reading updates. I'm really sorry that I did not finish any book in this vlog, but yeah, I did make a lot of progress, so I am really happy with that. But yeah, so I will end the vlog here now. It is the 30th December today. I think I will start the next vlog with like the firework, but we'll see. I don't even know if I will watch the firework because people here are crazy, but you know, we'll see. But yeah, so I will end the last vlog of the year now. Thank you for being here. I had a really, really great year making these videos. It's kind of a good way to let my thoughts out, and I'm happy for everybody who wants to hear my thoughts and actually listens to them. Thank you very much for doing that. And yeah, I hope you had a good end of the year, and hopefully you're starting the year on a good note. And yeah, hopefully I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!